Right, we've got the mechanics working well. We've mastered how we can strike the golf ball. Now we've got to calculate exactly how far we carry it. I've got a couple of very simple tips for this, and I think they're really important because, you know, if you were to throw a golf ball, stand up in a golfing position, number one, you'll be looking exactly where you want to land it. I'm trying to land it on the green and throw it to the hole. And look at my body. Look how I've gone through and I've released it. So I was looking, there's my visual part, and look how well I went through it. So what I've seen, so many people are totally transfixed on this little white orb that you stand there looking at this thing and you work to that. No follow through. So as you can see from the natural throw, how your body releases. So that is so important. So the visual part is very important. So now I want you to think, you know, when you were throwing that ball, there was no thoughts of anything back here. It was all about going forward. So I want you to try and do exactly the same thing in this chipping. Trust you've got your strike going. You now look at your spot, you know, a yard onto the green. You trust your mechanics and you see the ball fly to land. That's all you can control, is the flight to your landing point. And then it's just a good calculation of how hard I have to hit it to make that shot happen. So I want you to think of just strike and flight. See it and follow it. And watch how my body just goes with it. Strike and fly. See, I follow the darn thing. Thrown it with my hand. So obviously shots vary in length. So we either, it's very simply, we make our stroke just slightly longer. So when I send the ball a little bit further, we have a longer swing, or we go to different clubs, or we can adjust the ball position. So to keep things nice and simple, again, we can have the same mechanics and just move the golf ball backwards and forwards. And, you know, so this was middle, and we don't have to go much. You know, if that was middle, you just go a little bit further forward and a little bit further back, not much more than that. So, you know, there's your basic one, and you'll get a medium kind of flight. If we went a fraction ahead of that, and remember, don't try and scoop it up. Even though it's forward, we still hit down, but the golf ball goes higher. And the one I absolutely loved, obviously coming from Europe, was moving it back onto pretty close to your right toe, and you kind of trap it and you send it lower. So they've all landed on the same spot and all released differently. So there's a variety of different shots just by moving the golf ball backwards and forwards. And now I've got a couple more to take it up a notch, where you rotate your forearms, and that produces another couple of different shots. So if you wanted to land the ball on the front of the green, but maybe it's uphill, it's into the green, and you want to get the ball to run up the green a little bit, we can then rotate our forearms. You rotate them over this way and roll them that way. So basically, what are you doing to the club face? You're opening it and then closing. You're shutting it down. And that kind of traps the golf ball. You can even go a little bit into out. So rotate, rotate. That goes lower, lands on the front, releases up to the flag. If you had the opposite, it's downwind, it's a little firm up there. Actually, I can go the other way. I call it my scoop, where the arms, the forearms, rotate the other way. You see the club face is now pointing at the sky. So I call this like my little scoop shot. It sends the ball up. Don't have to help it up. You just scoop it with the arms. Ball goes up, lands a couple of yards further up. Well, there you have it. The basics to pitching.